What is up, YouTube? Today we're working on the Falcon. I'm gonna put the shop getting some other stuff done too, but we have a Swapmate $50 shifter. It's missing some brackets and tabs. I don't know if it's a B&M or Hurst or something, but it's non-ratcheting, sequential 1-2 drive, neutral reverse park. So I got that. It's got a Hurst shifter on here. At least that's what the label says. I don't know about the actual base. I don't have anywhere to hook up the cable for this. I got one detent here. That's just pretty much a washer and a cotter pin, I believe. But I don't have any of the bracketry left on this shifter for the cable itself. I got a universal B&M shifter, super cheap, whatever I could find on Amazon. Well, actually really expensive for a cable, but cheap in the grand scheme of what we have. So what I need to do, see if I can turn you guys around here. We have shifter cable, goes over this eyelet like so. So that's gonna go on there. This cable section is adjustable. It's got the lock tab here. I do not have a bracket to mount this tab, so we're making one. Took some flat stock, drilled a big hole to slide the cable through, and then the upper hole, the smaller of the two, is going to be for the bolt for that bracket. So we'll go through, get this kind of laid out. Like I said, it's real rough cut. I didn't clean up. It's just whatever miscellaneous metal I had laying around. I'll dress all this once I figure out exactly how it's going to work. In order to do that, I also have the TV cable for the AOD, which I don't feel like doing all of this underneath the car because that's a huge pain in the ass. But since I'm a hoarder and have a ton of parts, I do have another AOD. This is the one from the video that was all cracked when I dropped it. Had my buddy do me a huge favor, re-weld this one all up. So this trans is also good to go, welded inside and out. As far as I'm aware, this was a running driving trans. I haven't opened it up or done anything else other than break it when I was trying to put it all together. In other news, sold the 9-inch rear end housing that I had sitting around. That's the drive shaft stuff that I need to mix and match and try and figure out what I can make work. But essentially what we're going to do today is get that shifter cable figured out on the actual shifter itself. And then I'm going to come over here to this wonderful broken, cracked, now repaired AOD to make the lower bracket for the cable itself. So essentially by the time I'm done today, I should be able to have a working shifter on a benchtop trans. And then all I'll have to do is drill some holes in the floor pan and mount the shifter in the Falcon. So I can pull out this TV cable sitting in this fancy Summit box, but we'll do the shifter cable first and then go back and try and readdress the TV cable. It is going to be different on this trans. This is up. I'm pretty sure on the Falcon it's down. So I don't remember which one is which or what I'm going to need to do. I'm going to have to play with that, but ideally get everything laid out and figure out some cable routing. Well, a little bit of cutting and grinding and bending, so I got a rough template laid out here. I might still need to tweak it a little bit. I got the shifter cable over this shifter cable rod coming out of the shifter. So washer, cotter pin that'll hold that in place. Then we got this fancy cheapo budget bracket. Not sure exactly where this is gonna land on here, but holds the cable stay in place. Then I got the adjuster on the other end of the cable that's going to go up onto the transmission. So I'll have to make that bracket next, and then I can kind of figure out where this needs to be. Contemplating whether I'm going to bolt or weld this. I'll probably bolt it because then I can stack some washers and adjust the height. It looks like it gets a little close to this section in here. But this is all new to me. I haven't had to build a shifter before, so learning process. I understand how it works. Can't be that difficult. We'll make it work one way or another. Okay, a little cutting and grinding, bending, and trying things. I had 2 bolts in here. If I run the 2 bolts, put this too far forward where I couldn't clip first gear. But now with 1 bolt in there, and I might actually throw a couple tacks on there once I get the other side set up. But we have working shifting cable out of my truck. So on this one, it's got a lockout for park. So click it up. Let's reverse. Neutral, first all the way back, second, it's got a lockout going back up, so there's third, up for neutral, reverse, and all up in park. So it's working. Sorry about the crappy video. half the battle's done. Well, before I can make the shifter bracket, I gotta figure out where the AOD TV throttle valve cable is going to go. Finally got this. It was on back order forever. Got it maybe a week ago. I think I ordered it 2-3 months ago. But they upgraded with a fancy packaging box instead of that shrink wrap stuff. And that's what we're looking at. So let me start pulling all these things out, figure out where everything goes, and get it slapped onto here. I have run these in the past on the van. I got the same kit essentially, but we'll get all this laid out and go from there. I want $100 for this bracket, so we're gonna make one. Drilled 2 holes that are gonna mount into the trans. We'll run some washers underneath to kick it off the oil pan. And then I basically have 2 lines here. This first line is gonna be a cut line. I was gonna groove it. I'm not sure if I'm doing that yet, but the first thing I gotta do is drill a big hole in the center for the shifter cable adjustment. Alright, so drilled this, test fit the cable fits through here like it's supposed to. These are going to be the 2 mounting bolts on the bottom of the trans. And I just chucked this up in a vise and basically hammering it over to put a fold in it. So only got one hand and forgot my tripod, so you'll see it when it's done. Too bad. A crappy little mount. Looks like dog crap. It's fine. It's welded. It's together. Shifter side's done. I don't know where this is going to land in the car. This also doesn't fit in the car on the trans tunnel, but we'll address that next. But it shifts. Cable moves through the gears like it should. Like I said earlier, I have a loaner trans. So this is the re-welded one that I dropped trying to put together the motor and trans on the last one. When I dropped it, it hit this boss, cracked it, and literally shattered all the way up. Re-welded inside and out, super solid, ready to go. I'll run this on something at another point in time, but using this as a loaner, I needed it for these 2 tabs to make the bracket in terms of the bolt spacing off of the oil pan. Ran over to Buddy's shop, ripped apart this drive shaft, which is gonna get cannibalized. I think that's an S10 or something. No idea, but that'll get cannibalized. We'll use that for the Falcon maybe, unless they decide that it's easier just to use the yokes. If not, shifter cables, they're somewhat routed. I think after final welding this tab actually does need to come way back here. I at least have a template now, so I can use these bolt holes to remake a new one if I need to. I might do a little kick out piece that comes straight forward, and then a 90-degree bend up, and then that'll give me a little bit more length on this cable side. The only problem is, using this donor trans, this shifter is up. So park is forward, reverse, neutral, drive 1, or drive 2, 1. So that's where that shifter wants to be. The one that's sitting in the Falcon right now is the opposite, which basically has the same pitch forward that this one does, but it goes down, which is why I was hoping that this might be enough adjustment to connect them. But not having a welder at home and not having any of the stuff I need to actually verify that, this is just a quick temporary. If I gotta bust out a hammer and start banging on that bracket and bend stuff and make it work, that should be okay. I can also, again, down the line, as long as it shifts somewhat, I can bring it back here, put it up in the air, and make an actual mount that's gonna work. The temporary problems that you run into trying to build a car in the driveway, not even a garage, just straight up in the driveway. But trans lines are done in the Falcon. Well, at least going forward to rubber line the rest. Fuel line is run to the front. This shifter bracket's been bugging me. It's kind of been back of the mind problem for a while. Got this stupid B&M/Hurst shifter, whatever it is. Then realized it doesn't fit on the tunnel, but I'm not going to worry about that yet, because worst case scenario, if if I can get the cable bracket and the cable stuff adjusted proper, that doesn't really need to be bolted into the car to be able to drive it to the shop to get it back on the lift and fix all the stupid things that I've done over the last 2 months. So that's kind of where we're at. Ripped apart this drive shaft. I thought this was a Ford one at first, and then I went to go put it all together, and this yoke does not fit into the transmission housing. It's the same as this. It should be a 28 spline Ford. This yoke does not fit into there. These U-joints, however, did fit into the 9-inch, so I saved the old crappy U-joint after hitting it with a torch and popping the pimples and grease out of them. I pulled the Speedo drive out of this extra AOD trans because it bit me when I was loading it in the truck, and I got a big old gouge on my leg from it. But I'm gonna go home. I got new U-bolts for the drive shaft, so I'm gonna put this crappy old crusty U-joint back in the car, make sure that those line up and seat as they should. If that's the case, then I know for the Ford 9-inch, I got a 9-inch in the truck, I got a 9-inch in the van. I've replaced the U-joints in both of these. If the U-joints will fit, then I know that this side is okay. This inside section, I know this is a Chevy, obviously. This is an S10 drive shaft, I'm 90% certain. If the inside's okay, that's fine too. Doesn't matter, I can find a weird adapted version of U-joints if need be. The front side, on the other hand, I'm playing all sorts of games with weird parts. I have a good AOD yoke that needs to be mated to this. This is a Chevy style. It's not all like the Ford stuff. Ford stuff has outside clips. Chevy stuff has inside clips. So just playing the drive shaft game. I'm gonna bring a plethora of parts over to the drive shaft shop down the road. Here's the drive shaft I need. This is what I have. This is what I need. This splines into the trans. This rear housing is okay. Outside clips. Chevy style inside clips. So basically I just need them to take 3 inches out of this drive shaft, roughly. I haven't fully measured. And then I need this yoke housing to mate up to the yoke that comes out of the trans. And on the back side, like I said, I'm gonna go home today, chuck this up in the rear end, see what it looks like with the U-bolts on it, and if these sides are okay, the tail housing doesn't really matter. If I can make Chevy ones work, I will. If I can find a universal kind of crossover drive shaft, that's fine too. I just gotta mic out some stuff and take some measurements and do some math. So pay attention in school, kids. Like, comment, subscribe, whatever else you want to do. Or don't, that's fine too. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll catch you guys later.